What's cracking, ladies and gentlemen? 49 coming out another community shoutcast for the OUSA Dota League Season 2. We're here at game number 1 for the Grand Finals, 5IP up against Blink. It's been 6 long weeks of bloodshed, toil, triumphs, and a few throws. And looks like we're now ready to game number 1. So Blink Dota, I believe they've got second pick, so 5IP will first pick. We'll be interesting to see what Brother decides to let slip through the first batting stage. As 5IP, it's all like a rock, paper, scissors matchup between Blink Dota, HOR, and 5IP, the top 3 teams in Dunedin. Blink Dota beat HOR on a good day, HOR beat 5IP on a good day when they're not throwing, and 5IP, they beat Blink because the way that they play, Blink Dota tend to leave themselves to be very predictable during their drafting stage, and so they always have the same set plan with their strategies, and so it's very easy to come up with ways to defeat that, especially since 5IP, they like to play a bit out of the box, they like to go through these unorthodox strategies, and they work against teams such as Blink that are very easy to read, so Thailand's the first band coming up from Brother, captain for 5IP. They really dislike the dealing with the Titans and the laning stages. The Titans is currently the most powerful off-lane hero in the game, with the ability to be able to not only be unable to dislodge him from the lane, so also the fact that he can actually contest heroes very well with a 1v1 or 1v3 with the anchor smash. Titan is definitely a very powerful off-lane hero that's usually banned out, just due to how powerful he is at all stages, and if you are able to ever shut him down, he recovers very nicely by stacking and clearing ancient camps, as anchor smash now works on ancient creeps. And we're immediately going to Pandarian Brewmaster, first ban coming up from Blink. Pandarian Brewmaster, he's one of the most powerful teamfight heroes in the game for the first 20 to 30 minutes. When you pick up a Brewmaster, so long as you're able to get a timely Blink Dagger and timely Arcane Boots, you can win every single fight decisively. You blink, clap, then split. Once you've got the split up, you turn the fight to 3v5. You're able to cyclone their priority target, stun lock down the original with the priority target with the Earth Panda, and then your teammate is able to take advantage of all the control he provides you. So Brewmaster works very well with heroes such as Tinker that are able to provide obscene amounts of damage, but need time to set up. So second ban coming up from 5IP, they do have first pick, and so they could actually, they're deciding not to ban the Lycanthrope, so they want to bait out either Blink to pick up the Lycanthrope or to ban it. So they're going for Face of Void. Face of Void, another very powerful offlane hero. The advantage of Void is he's very flexible. You either run him as a 1 or as a 3, Horseman or Ruckus. They do love to run a tri-lane Face of Void. Due to how powerful he is as a late game carry, he still remains one of the best hard carries in the game, but it gives you a lot of advantage as the drafter, as the opposing drafter is forced to pick up heroes that counteract the Void, and ban out heroes that synergize very well with the Void. So usually you see heroes such as the Skywrath Mage, as well as the Witch Doctor being banned out with the Face of Void, as those are 2 heroes that work exceptionally well within the Chronosphere. Since the Death Ward, especially if it ever gets upgraded with Magnet Scepter, can single-handedly win you the fight. And the Skywrath Mage instantly gives you pick-off path. So every time you land the Chrono on a single target, it doesn't matter if you just catch out 1 hero, that target is dead. And you immediately start a fight 4v5. And then Undying Respect ban coming up from Blink Dota, and Undying's a hero that 5IP they love to run because it works very well against the Death Wall meta that the current metagame seems to be revolving around. So Undying, you can run him in offlane, or what 5IP like to do is they like to run him in very aggressive dual lanes. And so, for instance, one of their standard dual lanes with the Undying is the Undying as well as the Omni Knight, because you can't touch them. If you go in and try to kill the Undying, Omni Knight will heal, repel, and run up to you and start smacking you. And with that degen aura, you can't dive against an Omni Knight. And if you don't go on the Undying drops a tombstone, stands his ground, and starts running in and hitting you with the decay stacks. And so it's a very powerful dual lane that works incredibly well against them. We're going to see the first Lycanthrope of the ODL being picked up by 5IP. Wolfgun, 87% win rate on the Lycanthrope. He is exceptionally good with that hero. It's almost always banned against 5IP for that reason alone. Wolfgun, although that being said, he can't play the Agi hero, so he's sticking with Strength and Intelligence. And Lycanthrope, his signature hero, the guy's called Wolfgun for Christ's sake. Ban out the only wolf hero in the game. Blink Dota, they're going to have to respond to the Lycanthrope pick. Since the only way to deal with Lycanthrope is in lane. You have to shut him down hard and try to win the game before Lycanthrope comes online. The reason why Lycanthrope is so powerful is because the metagame currently revolves around these 5-on-5 death ball engagements. Lycanthrope comes online faster than any other carry. With just Vladimir's offering and Trex, he can out-man fight any other carry. With the Wolves and with level 7, assuming you've got level 7 Wolves and even 1 point up the Feral Impulse, he pushes faster than Nature's Prophet. So every time you lose a fight against a Lycanthrope and he's still alive, you're losing a tower, you could even lose Rax. And so we've got a Doombringer pickup coming up from Blink Dota. Doombringer, a very powerful offlane hero because of how difficult he is to shut down in terms of gold. Just through Devour, he's able to recover very nicely. If he is able to find himself a useful neutral creep, it's actually incredibly difficult to try to kill the Doom. He's worth the Scorched Earth regen. And with the creeps such as the Hill Troll, Helicleap creep, you can't ever dislodge him from the lane. He's got enough sustainability. You constantly stay there, even if he's not getting any last hits, you can recover through Devour. And Doombringer, he works exceptionally well against heroes such as a Lycanthrope, or if you ever run a 4-1 strategy. All you have to do is doom the hero that's got all the farm, and he's completely useless, you then win that fight. Because in terms of net worth, your team is now ahead. And Lich being picked up by Blink, Lich, a hero that hasn't really worked out too well for them. The last few times they picked up the Lich actually worked against them because the biggest disadvantage of Lich, especially against a Lycanthrope, is he can't stop pushes. He can't actually give you anything to help stop a push. The only thing he's got going for him is the fact that you can frost down the towers now. But he doesn't have any nuke to be able to clear out the creep wave. He can't actually deal with the Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope presses R, he's immune to all snares, runs up, starts smacking the Lich, and Lich can't do anything. He can try to turn around with the Chain Frost, but Lycanthrope's able to double split his minions, completely wastes the Chain Frost, and then you can turn around and engage. And so Lich doesn't really give you any counter push, which is what Lycan excels at, but what Lich gives you is the macro advantage. You can run dual lanes with a Lich, and he actually works very well in dual lanes because A, you're constantly staying ahead in terms of experience because you're denying a creep using sacrifice, so that not only deprives the enemy heroes of gold and experience, it also gives you and your lane partner that golden experience. And so it means that Lich is able to provide that advantage in a dual lane, and he also works very well if you're up against a solo offlane, so you keep frost blasting and keep them low. And so Lich can be run in a tri-lane, but he's not really the best tri-laning hero, just because he doesn't really offer you as much aggressive capability as another support hero, such as, for instance, Ruby can provide you the setup, or a hero like Skyrim can provide you the damage. You've got a Phantom Assassin ban coming up from Blink, so respect that over the Mule. He's the only player in Dunedin that actually likes to run a mid-PA, and for good reason. Mid-PA, it doesn't seem like it works on paper, but the rationale behind it is you want to get coup de grace level 2 ASAP. Once you get coup de grace level 2, you can 1-2-shot enemy heroes. If the supports ever rotate, because you're going to have the EXP advantage, you can actually stand your ground in man fight, especially with the Dazzle pickup, so Dazzle gives you that Shallow Grave. And so they've got an Axe ban coming up from 5IP. Axe is a fantastic hero to deal with the Lycanthrope, because you throw an Axe tri-lane against Lycanthrope's tri-lane. And Lycanthrope at level 1 to level 3, he doesn't give you anything at all. The only thing he can perhaps provide you, if he's exceptionally good, is some go super and micro skills. With the wolves, you can try body blocking heroes and stopping them that way. Otherwise, Lycanthrope can't do anything. He can howl and he can hit you. But any other carry hero that you run in that safe lane position, as your tri-lane farm, will be able to provide you more than Lycanthrope in the laning stage. And Axe is the hero that completely cripples Lycanthrope, because he runs at him with some other heroes that help set up will provide damage. Axe can out-man fight the Lycanthrope. You can actually destroy everybody else in the tri-lane. And so a very potent ban coming up from 5IP. They've also banned up the Silencer, hero that completely shuts down any form of team fight. The Silencer can be run in almost any position. You can run him as a 4, even as a 5, just to make sure that he's able to get the ultimate off. Or you can run him as a 4 position farmer in the mid lane, or in the tri-lane as a safe lane farmer. If he's ever able to farm Aghanim Scepter, his ultimate actually out DPS's Wrath of God coming up from the Zeus. So his Curse Silence is actually quite a potent nuke, as well as the fact that it also burns off mana. But most likely, when Silencer is picked up, he's picked up primarily for his ult to provide the counter initiation. And so we've got a Pubner ban coming up from Blink. Pubner, another hero that 5IP love to run, because it fits very well with their playstyle. Just to fight very early, fight very hard, take as many objectives as possible, and if they go for a death ball, you have to spare your team fight with Nethermore. And so Blink Donut, actually 3 respect bans coming up from them. The only hero that isn't a respect ban is Pandas, is the only player on 5IP that can play the Pandaren and Brewmaster well. Is only. Or Ghoulie also can play Brewmaster, but after his last performance, I think they've kind of banned him from that hero. So Blink Donut is starting to dip into what looks like a bit of the reserve time for their third pickup. They've picked up potentially a mid or a safe lane Doom, since Blink Donut, they do like to run Doombringer in a safe lane or a mid lane role. Flash has picked them up a few times to go mid against Ember Spirit. It hasn't really worked out too well for them. Doombringer in a tri-lane situation wouldn't really offer you too much as well, since Blink Donut, they have to clash try. If they dodge the tri-lane against a Lycanthrope, and Lycanthrope's able to find uncontested farm, 5IP, their death ball comes online much faster, and their death ball is a lot more dangerous. Since Lycanthrope, he doesn't need as much net worth to be effective as a carry hero than other carries. Because Feral Impulse is one of the best carry abilities in the game. Up to 30% base attack speed as well as base damage, which then propagates to his minions, is absolutely absurd. The reason why Lycanthrope is such a powerful deathfall hero is because Feral Impulse propagates to his Necronomicon minions. And Necronomicon minions, if you get Necronomicon 3 by 20 minutes, they out-DPS every other hero available in the game. They also burn mana and can help you push. And so we've got Sand King coming up from Blink Dodo. So the rationale behind Sand King pick is Sand King is a very greedy 4th position support hero, and this is usually Blink's biggest weakness. They like to play very greedy with all their players. And so the rationale behind Sand King is if it's a Doombringer as well as a Lich, and a Sand King in the tri-lane. Sand King, he will participate at a level 1 again with the boots advantage with the Burrow Strike, and then once he picks up level 2, level 3, he rotates to the jungle and starts starting on jungle camps. And the Lich is able to babysit Doombringer by being able to control the creep equilibrium, so it's always just outside of tower range to make it very difficult for them to die. And Lich is also able to continuously apply pressure to the offlane. And so Blink Dodo, they're not actually running a tri-lane, they're running essentially a 2+1. So Sand King, you have to treat him almost as a jungling hero. He can rotate and set up kills, but the way Blink Dodo love to play Sand King, which is a bit counter to the way the Horsemen of the Ruck is, another team that likes to run Sand King. And when Horsemen of the Ruck pick up a Sand King, they're constantly rotating, they're constantly making ganks with the Sand King. Whereas Blink Dodo, they might go for a level 1, level 2 gank, and then they'll run off into the jungle, try to find that early arcane boots in the Blink Dagger on the Sand King, and then try to take fights once the Blink Dagger comes online. Because Sand King with the Blink Dagger and versus Sand King without a Blink Dagger is an absolute world of difference. The ability to be able to catch out 2 to 3 heroes with the Burrow Strike is absolutely obscene. It's Burrow Strike, one of the best AoE stun abilities in the game. And 5 IP, they've picked up Wraith King, so it's going to be only over on that Wraith King. They could actually decide to try running dual lanes. Wraith King also can be used as a 4 position, but 5 IP, one of their biggest weaknesses is they tend to go for these dual lanes to make usage of the players that they have available. So we're going to be seeing Zeki open the Centaur Warrunner as the off lane. So we are actually going to be seeing either a mid or a safe lane Doombringer. Probably going to be Flash playing it as Snow. I don't think he's actually I've seen him play the Doombringer. Snow is usually the captain as well as the mid player for Blink, but from time to time he does switch it up with Flash depending on what hero has been chosen. And so we could be seeing what looks like a safe lane Doombringer, but if they do the safe lane Doombringer, they can't clash try. The Lich and the Sand King won't be able to stand up against Lycanthrope as a Dazzle. This while Lycan doesn't give you much in terms of early on engagement, neither does the Doom. Doom presses Scorched Earth and runs up and hits you. That's all he can really do. Dazzle hard counters to Doombringer in these early engagements because the Shadow Wave will decimate. Doom has 0 armor. As well as the fact that Lycan, even with just 1 point Feral Impulse, can stand his ground and right-click down the heroes from Blink. And with the Shadow Grave available, Lycanthrope is more than happy to be able to go for these manly trades. And so 5 IP, dipping into almost all the reserve time, they've got about 20 seconds left. Their 4th hero, they're probably going to be looking to pick up either an offlaner. Since 5 IP, they love to pick up their mid player, their mid hero last. That's because Mule, their mid player, one of the best 1v1 players in Dunedin. Him and Dumbled about tied. Dumbled definitely one of the better 1v1 players in Dunedin, perhaps even New Zealand. So Necrophos pick up. We actually could be seeing what looks like a mid Necrophos. This is something that 5 IP like to run from time to time. Usually as a counter strategy against a situation such as an IO Tiny. As a Necrophos, if he's able to get a few levels up in the house level aura, he can actually punish that dual lane quite effectively. Necrophos is an exceptionally powerful hero that actually works very well against Blink because of their emphasis on 5-on-5. With the 4 heroes that Blink has picked up, they all peak in the mid game. Once Centaur Warrunner hits level 6, once Doombringer gets 6, you want to group up and fight. You want to take these early engagements, and once you take these engagements, because you've got the superior team fight with the Stampede, the Doom, not even including the Chain Frost and the Epicenter, just those 2 abilities on their own will be able to give you enough impedance to win these fights. And when you win those fights, you take towers. You take towers, you get the gold advantage, and once the gold starts going in your hands, the game starts to slip further and further out of the enemy team's control, and that gives that 5 IP a significant disadvantage. But the way they counteract this is with the Dazzle and the Necrophos. So these are 2 heroes that excel at long drawn out fights. The weave from Dazzle, as well as the Shadow Grave, means that the fight is going to go long, and if it goes long, it will turn very quickly. The weave on the heroes such as Lycanthrope and the Wraith King, who deal a substantial amount of right-click damage, means that Blink Dodo, they have to rely on the initial pick-up power. If they get a good initiation in over on the Dazzle and kill him before he gets the Shadow Grave Ball, if they're able to doom the Necrophos, then Blink Dodo have an exceptionally powerful lineup, since the Wraith King, well, even if he does have Reincarnate, they can kill the rest of his team. And Lycanthrope, he can shapeshift, he can try to click people down. Since Blink Dodo, they're lacking a lot of hard CC that's reliable against the Lycanthrope. The only reliable hard CC they have against Lycanthrope once he shapeshifts is the Blink Burrow Strike from the Sand King. And so 5 IP, the way they can win this utilizing their draft is they have to play very aggressively. They have to block off Yoshi's camps. If they're able to shut down Snow in the mid lane, then that completely derails Blink's strategy. Because Blink, because all their players like to play so greedy, they rely completely on the mid lane. Snow on the mid lane, he has to win the mid lane, so that's why they often send so many support rotations there to ensure that he has a successful mid lane. And once that happens, they then try to use the mid lane to create space for the supports to catch up. So we're seeing Razor in the mid lane, a safe lane Doombringer. Doombringer also can potentially be run mid, and we could be seeing a Razor in the tri lane. That would be a lot more effective in regards to shutting down the Lycanthrope. But Doombringer against the Necrophos actually has a very difficult lane. As Necrophos probably will be stealing the Heartstopper Aura at 1. And because Doombringer is a melee hero that relies on his high HP pool, it actually zones him out quite effectively. So we've got a Shadow Shaman ban coming up from Blink Dodo, since 5 IP have such an immense pushing power coming up from the Lycanthrope as well as the Wraith King. And in exchange, they've banned up the Templar Assassin, as Templar Assassin completely destroys the Necrophos lane. Necrophos, since he's going to be run as the mid-position farmer, unless they decide to run dual lanes again, but the only potential dual lane they could run is maybe Wraith. That's not going to be happening, so we're going to see Puck as an off-lane hero. Necrophos, we're going to Lycanthrope lane. Necrophos can potentially be run in the offlane, and actually this could be what they're doing. Usually the offlane left 5 IP. And so Necrophos in the offlane, the way that it works is you go 1, you go Heartstopper Aura, and you max out the Heartstopper Aura. So all you have to do is stay in range for the Heartstopper Aura to do damage. That also happens to be EXP range. So long as you're able to find your experience, you can later on translate that into farm. And the Heartstopper Aura is actually surprisingly powerful, because Blink Dodo, they have very greedy support, the Sand King. And if Necrophos also starts with boots, and if a safety ward doesn't get dewarded, Yoshi won't ever be able to find a Necrophos. They can try to set it up with a Lich Frost Blast, into the Burrow Strike. But if they're not able to kill Broden, if Broden is able to stay there, he actually does a fair amount of harassment damage. So it looks like they're having a few issues with their mic on their end, so they're having a quick pause. So interesting, the players from both teams. Over in Blink, we've got Flash, over on his Doombringer as the 1-position farmer. Zeke going to be the 3-position Centaur Warrunner. Bambi going to be the 5-position Lich. Snow going to be the 2-position Razor, and Yoshi going to be the 4-position Sand starting with Boots as is his custom. Over on 5IP, Broder going to be what looks like a 3rd-position Necrophos running into the off lane. Wraith King going to be the 4-position farmer for his team. Ghoulie going to be the 5-position. Mule going to be the 2-position as the mid lane puck, and Lycanthrope played by Wolfgang going to be the 1-position. Also notice that 5IP they have RIP HOR in their names. It's because the 5IP actually knocked both Blink and HOR down to the losers bracket. Since game number 3 of Horseman of the Ruckus up against 5IP, for whatever reason Horseman of the Ruckus threw, and so then they were up against Blink for the losers bracket finals. Looks like we are having a few issues. We've got a shout out to Kai, otherwise known as 5200. And so things should be good to go with this. Doing a double check of their mic settings. Since we are playing on tournament conditions, every player for both teams is either wearing noise cancelling headphones or they have mufflers on to be able to interrupt all the sound coming in from the caster. So Bambi once again doing a bit of a shout out. And what the interesting thing between this match on 5IP and Blink is it's a bit of a grudge match. We've got 5IP who have Yoshi's younger brother only, who was actually slated to be the 5th member of Blink. He was instead replaced by Bambi. And we also have Ghoulie, used to be the carry player for Bambi Rising in ODL1. And Bambi is actually currently playing for Blink, over as Blink Bambi Sama is his name. It's a bit of a grudge match happening between both teams. Looks like we are just quickly going to double last check for all the mic issues. I think everything's good to go. So only sorting out his mic issues, and once the game is live, if they do decide to dodge tri-lanes, then the advantage goes in favor of 5IP. Unless, of course, if Sand King's able to find a very early Blink target. Because the rationale behind Blink dodging the tri-lane is they're assuming that they can shut down the Lycanthrope in the mid-game, once he starts to become a relevant threat. If they're able to find enough farm on 3 to 4 of their players, if the Razor finds enough farm, the Razor can go toe-to-toe against the Lycanthrope. If Doombringer is able to, since he's going to be the one carrying a mech for his team, probably going to be going Arcane Mech into Blink Dagger. If he's able to pick up the mechanism for the Doombringer, that's when Blink Dagger, they have to spare a team fight. With the mech up, with the double Blink available for both Zeke as well as Yoshi, they have the initial pick-off power, and they also have the superior sustainability. Since if they're able to, they reliably have to catch out Necrophos with the Doom. You've got Stampede to set it up, and you then want to kill everybody else off. You can leave Lycanthrope alone, so long as you're able to shut down Mule as well as Broder. So those are the 2 priority targets. Since Lycanthrope, while he does provide a lot of right-click damage, the Stampede can be used to control them, and it looks like we're actually having a mic switch over. The mufflers are other, but I think they said that they might have a spare pair. It is. So, did you guys say that you had a spare set of headphones? Sorry? Did you guys say that you had a spare set of headphones? Or anyone got earphones? Anyone got earphones?
Or is there another pair of earmuffs?
Oh, the earmuffs.
I want me to wait for earmuffs.
Right, okay. I think we've got check earmuffs. One thing I need to over here. So welcome to those of us joining us over on the live stream. We are having a bit of a delay as both teams are just sorting out a few headset difficulties. Since this is a LAN final, and so we are playing in the tournament conditions, all members of both teams are playing with earphones and either noise cancelling headsets or mufflers over their headphones to ensure they can't hear what the other teams are doing, as well as so they can't hear the casters. So this is the grand final, game number 1 of Blink Dota up against 5IP. So Blink Dota, the winners of the last ODL, and 5IP, they weren't able to compete in the LAN finals as their players weren't able to meet it, and so they were actually replaced by another team. So this time, while they did qualify for the finals in the ODL1 and the ODL2, this is the first LAN finals they've actually been competing at. And Blink Dota, they won at the ODL1. They're looking to win again to increase their prize pool, as there's $600 on the line. First place winner takes about $400. Second place winner takes $200, and I believe Horseman the Ruckus were 3rd place. They've qualified for $100. And so there is money on the line, but it looks like everything is good to go. I'm just doing a quick double check over Ghoulie, and I think the game should be resuming. So if Blink Dota, the disadvantage of their lanes is because the Lich and the Sankey as a support duo, they don't offer you enough killing power to clash try to try, especially against the Wraith King and the Dazzle. Since Wraith King, he's tanky enough that he can absorb a lot of fire, and if you're focusing on the Wraith King, then you've always got to worry about the Dazzle with the Shadow Grave. And so they can't actually clash try tries. The Doombringer, similar to the Lycanthrope, doesn't actually offer you anything in a try situation, or even in a 3v1 situation. At most, all you can provide is a few right clicks. You don't want to go for early points to the level of death. since you only want to go for an early point in level death if you're a solo lane Doom, and the enemy, you actually hold on to a skill point, wait till they hit level 6, then you level death, and with the level death from Doom, you've got enough damage to kill them. That's usually one of the things that Doombringer can do if he's in the solo matchup, but as the one position farmer for his team, Flash is going to be the one carrying all the utility out. So they're going to be, they want to find farm movement. That's the biggest issue of Flash and Tri-B-Tri. If your tri lane is actually very weak and you don't have a lot of pick-off power, since if you're playing an aggressive tri lane, you need all 3 heroes to have the ability to be able to go for these kills. So if you don't have the ability, then Doombringer instead is going to be run as a farming. They have to get items up on him ASAP, because he's going to be the lever that the rest of his team rotate around. If he's not able to find the early arcane boots and the early mechanism, they can't fight, because they lack the sustainability in these engagements. And Doombringer, as far as team fight and ganking contribution goes, all he does is Doom people run up and start hitting them. Because he's so tanky, you can't kill him if you focus fire him, since he's got the Scorched Earth regen as well as the mech. And while he doesn't right-click very hard, it's just the fact that if he's right-clicking on your support position players, they're forced to back off. They can't stand a man fight against the Doom. And so his job is just to run at them, to force the support players back, as well as to get the Doom off. Every single fight, they're able to get a successful Doom over on Broder. Blink Dota should be able to have the team fight advantage. Since Necrophos, if you don't kill him, if you leave him alone and aren't able to lock him down, he can win you fights single-handedly, just through the sheer amount of HP that he's able to swing for both teams, both your team as well as the enemy team. The Death Pulse, 270 damage and 135 heal. It doesn't seem like much, but when you're getting 2 or 3 of them off, and when they're hitting multiple targets on both your team and the enemy team, it provides a massive swing in terms of HP pool. Necrophos can swing HP values for a collective team better than any other hero, because he's also reducing the enemy team's HP just by being alive, just through the House of Aura, even if he's only got 1 point in it. Although if you are going to be playing what looks like potentially an off-lane Necrophos, you could actually look to max out the House of Aura, just so that you could passively force them back. And so we've really got a 5-man rotation coming up from Blink. Yoshi leading the charge, he's got Boots first as well as the Bar Strike, and if it's a level 1 engagement, Blink Dota should have a bit of advantage, especially since only actually yellowing up on his own. Boots burst also over the Wraithing. Wraithing works exceptionally well as a 4-position hero, because he's very durable. The Red Fire Blast is incredibly efficient, so probably going to be opting for Arcane Boots over the Wraithing. Treads also isn't too shabby on him if you are going to be tread switching a lot, but usually Arcane Boots up on a 4-position Wraithing, since every single time your Reincarnate is up, that's a 1 fight for your team. Wraithing, the reason why he's such a powerful 4-position is once the Reincarnate comes online, he, unlike every other support hero in the game, he doesn't care if he dies. In fact, it's actually good if he dies, as long as he's got the Reincarnate. Because the 75% snare that he's providing gives every other hero on his team enough time to be able to throw out all these extra right clicks. It means that Mule, he can completely stall over the mid lane, and he is able to run around uncontested. Since Puck, already a very slippery hero, actually we've seen counter boots first over on Puck, so this is used to counteract Snow. He's going to be starting with Boot, who raises, he usually starts with Boots first, but Snow, realizing that Mule might go for counter boots, actually opted for a Wraith ban. So that means he can't go for Static Link, but his base damage is going to be a lot higher than Puck is usually expecting, so it's actually he's got more base damage than Puck at this point. And so he has to he can passively win the lane by using the Static Link. But Wolfguard, utilizing his Wolves, able to scout it out. And Ghoulie scouts out a double damage room, so that's better for the rest of the team. Looks like he actually picks it up, so Ghoulie is now carried. And we are going to be seeing dual lanes, so Ogli running into the top lane. Ghoulie supporting him out. Looks like he actually is holding him to a skill point for now. And Wolfguard, actually he's running to the jungle, so this is something that 5IP, they do like to do from time to time. It's very greedy, which is the biggest issue, since Lycanthrope, still, he used to be one of the fastest farmers in the game. Him and Enigma were the most efficient junglers. Enigma, if you've got your jungling patterns down, you can guarantee an 8-minute max stall rate. Lycanthrope, not so much. He used to be a lot more powerful, and Mule looks like he really took a tick of that Static Link, but he's forced Snow to waste it, so he's only got 1 charge on it. Snow should actually be able to out CS Puck. And so Mule doing what Puck does best, just throwing out right clicks. And the reason why Puck is so effective in the mid lane is with that 5 damage buff, even if he's not able to contest CS, he just keeps hitting you. And that eventually drives you back so that you can play very aggressively once the illusion rule comes along. And Broder actually going to be left as safe lane solo up against Zeki, who's going to be in the offlane. Actually opted for Death Pulse at 1, would have preferred Heartstopper Aura, since Centaur Warrunner has such a high HP pool, it cripples him. Since he's a melee hero, he's going to always be eating that Heartstopper Aura. And so that means that Broder can control the lane passively, because level 1 Death Pulse doesn't give you enough value to really warrant being skilled. You're usually going to hold on to your skill point. You might go for it if you are being jumped, otherwise not going to be always useful. Ghoulie, taking your right clicks, actually exploding a Bar Strike from Yoshi, and Yoshi actually moving ahead. Splash also stole a Hoof Stomp from the Centaur, so he's actually able to land that as well, but no follow-up from Blink and Abby Samba, who went for sacrifice, so he's not able to accomplish anything as Lich until level 2 comes online. But the safety ward being dewarded, the Sentry ward now going to be dewarded. in retaliation for Gully, and only actually leading the CS score was tied with Zeke. The boots burst on Wraith means that it's very difficult to bring him down, and even if they do catch him up with the Bar Strike, they don't have enough damage to kill him. So this is a drawback of the Doombringer, even though he was able to land that double hoof stomp to follow up, because they didn't have any other damage coming up from him apart from a few right clicks, and because Lich doesn't offer you any damage until he gets a point of Frost Blast, usually level 2. Now they can start to play a lot more aggressively, but Gully should be having a point over in that Shadow Grave. There we go, he's got a point up in it now, and so it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to go for a kill over and only playing very aggressively. He knows that Yoshi's going to be pulling and stacking and clearing it out, and so he's going to leech as much EXP as possible, since he's actually already opted for a point up in crit. Wraith King, usually the traditional build is to max out Wraith Fire Blast as soon as possible, because the mana cost is static, and so it gives you the most value for your the mana that you expand, especially since Wraith Fire Blast with an 8-second cooldown also provides a snare, so it's actually a very efficient nuke just for a single target. Its biggest drawback is very easily disjointed, especially against Sand King. You can disjoint it either with the Bar Strike, the Sandstorm, or the Blink once that comes online. And the mid lane looks like Mule's actually having a very difficult time. This is the first time I've actually ever seen Mule lose mid lane so decisively. And Snow, realizing that Mule's probably going to be going for counter boots first, he went for stat items instead, and that gives him that lasting advantage. And so the counter boots coming up from Mule might have been a bit too hasty, but that being said, if he didn't go for the counter boots, then Razor's still able to win the mid lane using the static link. So Razor, very powerful hero. The reason why he's banned out so often is because you can run him into any lane, and he does very well. As long as he's in the 1v1 matchup through static link, he's able to win in terms of last standing damage, and so he's able to passively control the lane. And in the mid lane, especially with the plasma field, he could use it to not only harass the enemy hero, similar to a Death Cross, but also push up the creep wave to ensure he has room control. And Snow already got bubble up on him. So Mule having a very difficult time. There's a lot of pressure on Mule to be able to find an early Blink dagger, since he's the one that has to set up for the rest of his team. Only he's not going to be going for a Blink for a very long time, probably going to be going Treads first and then maybe starts to look into a Blink, and that could take a while, especially since a lot of pressure should be approaching on him very shortly. But while all this is happening, Wolfgun actually has been completely uncontested. He's level 4, he's actually jungling very efficiently. So because Lycanthrope used to be a jungling hero because his wolves are twice the amount of HP they had before, but with the HP nerf, they now have more magic resistance, so double magic resistance, but their HP is dramatically lower. So Wolfgun, he's actually tanking up the creeps to ensure that his wolves can provide the damage. So good recognition coming up from him. I believe in all his pod games, he actually plays him as a jungling hero, and so the advantage of this is in terms of the golden experience, 5 IP they have the Necrophos. So they have a jungler and they've got 3 farmers. They've got their mid lane, their off lane, and their safe lane. And so that essentially gives them 4 cores. And so this is something that Blink usually rely on, since Yoshi effectively plays as another core hero, since he's been playing very greedy. Apart from that one Bar Strike attempt, up against Willie, he hasn't really been accomplishing anything aggressively for his lane, and so he's actually just been rotating around the jungle. Lich has actually picked up level 3, and Bambi looked to max out the sacrifice and provide that extra macro advantage. Since Frost Blast, it is very powerful if you max it out. The sacrifice gives you a much more powerful late game, as well as the mid game. So it's giving you that EXP advantage. And so it's a bit of an opportunity cost. The lower cooldown on the sacrifice means that you probably are going to get enough levels to make up for not having as many points over the Frost Blast. And when you're playing very passively, since Yoshi hasn't been trying to set up any other ganks, he's actually running around the jungle, stacking, clearing out using the Sandstorm. He's opted for 2 points in Sandstorm. It's a very standard 4-position stacking plays coming up from Yoshi. It's something that he does every single game. And so the way to counteract that 5 IP usually like to do is by running these dual lanes, because they know that since it's going to be 2+1, if it's going to be an off-lane hero against the Lich as well as the Doom, he's going to be having a difficult time. But if you run a dual lane, Lich can't do anything anymore. If he goes in, he can still Frost Blast only, but once only gets a few more points up, he can actually play very aggressively. Bambi doesn't have any boots, he's actually being forced to buy the support items, as Yoshi went for boots first. And only can actually play very aggressively against him right now. Gully's also hanging there, wetting the wings. So we're going to be seeing former teammate be former teammate. And the bot lane, Broder quite handily destroying the Centaur Warrunner Zeke. In terms of last hits, he's actually being fairly out-last hitted by Broder. So about almost twice the amount of last hit and more denies up on him. And because he's got points up in the Hearthstone aura, just that 1 point is enough to get a zone out Zeke. But over the top lane, looks like we haven't been seeing fast blast only. Bit out of position, Gully not able to get the Shadow Grave, and he actually could be the retaliatory kill. But Mule comes and catches up 2 of the rainbow. He's also going to kill out Bambi as well. Bambi, he breaks the coil. And Gully, he actually cleans up the kill as a former teammate. Says, kick me up to again, you think.
You were too far away there.
Treads up now over and only, but he was a bit too far out of position. This is the biggest drawback of having a dual lane, is the Dazzle has to be in range to be able to set up the Shadow Grave. Otherwise, if he's not able to get it off, the dual lane effectively falls apart. And so that kill does give a huge amount of advantage in favor of Blink Donor. Since Yoshi wasn't able to find that kill, the gold lead still is going in their hands, as Mule was able to clean that and recover quite nicely. It's about 1,000 gold and 1,000 experience. But Yoshi, he's halfway to his Blink Dagger. They've got nothing to really counteract the Blink Dagger coming in online from the Sand King. Meanwhile, Wolfcut, I believe he's actually got his Vladimir's offering up. He's got it up in about another minute. So we're seeing a 7-minute Vladimir's offering. up in the Lycanthrope, so Wolfguard, even with the nerf to Lycanthrope, he hasn't let it stop. So the mana cost has increased, the Wolf HP was cut in half, and he's still able to utilize him as a jungling hero. So good plays coming up from Wolfguard. This is something that Blink Dota weren't expecting at all. You used to run a jungling Lycanthrope back when Wolves had a lot more HP, and back when they didn't cost as much mana, because you could afford to play greedy. But with the current metagame centering around these early to mid-game engagements, and about taking towers every time you get a kill, you no longer can afford to play that greedy. And Broder, he's got to be a little bit more careful since Blink Saki-sama's now rotated over to the bottom lane, so he's sick of dealing with his former teammate, now going over to poke the Necrophos. And Ziki, his Blink dagger is absolutely critical. He's very delayed. Looks like Wraith over the mid lane, actually able to clean up Mule, very close. So it looks like the static link was the critical factor in the engagement. So Snow actually looks like he's going for the 4-2-1 build, very standard build. He's actually opted for another point in the static link now. So usually you only see 2 points in the static link, as that provides you as much benefit without spending too many points into it. Yoshi goes for the burst strike, eats the death pulse to the face, and actually takes up half his life with the Heartstop Aura. And because he's so far from his Blink dagger, and because he rotates, he's wasting a lot of time. And so this is where 5IP, that lineup becomes a lot more effective, because he's going to be hitting level 5 very soon. Flash, he does have Doom available, but you don't want to be doing the Wraith thing, because it's going to be, I don't think he actually has enough damage to kill him. And the support rotates, and especially Ghoulie rotates and provides that Shallow Grave, only can actually turn over on Flash. But Flash, doing what he does best, finding as much farm as possible, and utilizing the neutral creeps he's absorbed, he's actually in the Shadow Hellcaller. That provides him 3 extra HP per second as well as the Shadow Blast. And since he's got the Arcane Boots, he can afford to spam that to find CS and to try to get a bit of chip damage. But the HP regen means that he can stay in this lane indefinitely. So this is why Doomer is such a powerful offlane hero, is if you're able to find a good creep, such as the Shadow Hellcaller or the Hill Troll creep, it's very difficult for them to be able to dislodge. The Hill Troll creep, actually a better creep, he's actually a better version of Crystal Maiden. He provides you the 2 mana regen per second, also provides you the mana heal, the HP heal, and he'll never beat. Only he's going to be saved by Ghoulie coming in with a Shadow Grave as well as a Shadow Wave. Looks like Broder also, Mule also rotated in. As Broder, he looked to rotate, I believe he actually cancelled the CP, or maybe he decided to hesitate. But while it's happening, Snow in the mid lane, he's finding a lot of fun. Snow, when he plays that mid lane racing, he likes to go for early drums of endurance. And so this is the Arteezy mid build up. And so the rationale behind the early drums of endurance on the razors, because you're not going to be opting for the face boots, you need that mobility. For Flash, he's got in a bit of a sticky situation. He did wait out the Dream Core, because he's tanky enough to be able to absorb it, but they are able to clean up Lich. And so Blink, they rely on the supports getting ahead in terms of gold, but in terms of net worth, they're definitely the lowest. Bambi, he's only got about 470 net worth. He's been buying every support round for his team, so all his net worth is the boost. And that's because Yoshi's been playing so greedy as that 4 position Zanking. But if they are able to find another kill and delay his Blink dagger for another minute, he's actually got to be very careful. Mule's rotating in. He's got the Windy Rip to interrupt the Sandstorm. Yoshi immediately backs off. So Mule, 5IP, they know that because Yoshi likes to play so greedy in that 4 position Zanking, they can play equally greedy with the Lycanthrope pickup. And Wolfguard, he hasn't had any pressure placed on him. He's got 9.5 minutes, Medallion of Courage, as well as a Varney's offering. This is the same level of farm that Lycanthrope finds in a solo safe, in a tri-lane situation if he's uncontested. So exceptional amount of farm coming up from Wolfguard. He's actually leading the CS scoreboard. He's beating Snow, who's got kills. And he hasn't been contributing in any games. He actually doesn't even have any points in the Hell. So go for the passive build. And the advantage of the Medallion of Courage is because you have Shapeshift, you don't need boots necessarily to kill it like a throw. You pop the Shapeshift, you've now got max movement speed, unit walking, and they can't snare you. And so if he runs at Lich, pops the Medallion of Courage, he can 4-shot it. Even 3-shot it if he gets a crit. And so that's the power of Lycanthrope. And Blink, they actually don't have anywhere to deal with it. They're entirely dependent on Blink and Ziki getting these Blink daggers. Yoshi as well as Ziki getting his Blink daggers. But Ziki, unless they get able to get a kill, not going to be getting it anytime soon. Right against the tower in the top lane. Stab BB used defensively. Doom now flies over and Ghoulie. They know that he's the one carrying the Shallow Grave, and only he doesn't have Reincarnate available, so he actually could be taken for. Ghoulie, he's actually able to Drew Killer, who's got double leg flies out instead. They're able to bring him down, and only as well going to be taken for. Bro actually comes, never mind, the death ball keep you alive enough. Time to bring down Ziki for the look of it. The half of Aura should be to bring him down. Yoshi sitting against Dazzle, contributing to the gag. Chamber being committed for this. And there should be the bring down, bro. He's bleeding and they actually have like 4 kills over in the bottom lane while that's happening. Wolfguard doing what he does best, since they know that he can't fight his vibe right now with the Lycanthrope. And so you either split push or you try to take objectives, and that's what he's doing, because he knows that his team need him to be the find goal before he becomes effective. And so only the lack of the Reincarnate really turned that fight. If he had Reincarnate, they could have turned that around, actually gotten 2 to 3 kills with that, but they are able to catch him out. Snow, he's running in, but Wolfguard with the Shapeshift should be the back on time. Roshan is actually very low, so Blink Dota, they're going to go for this. Snow has enough damage, they're going to group up, he's picking it up. But with their Stampede down, as well as the Doom and the Chain Frost, they can't fight this. And so 5 IP, if they send more support in, they should be able to secure this Roshan. They have to. This is the only thing they can do right now to try to keep them in the game. And in terms of net worth, while they still are ahead, Blink's Doubtful is coming closer and closer to coming online. Yoshi, he's almost got his Blink Dagger. Once that Blink Dagger comes online, he can always catch out a Ghoulie. And if he catch out Ghoulie, the entire team fight from 5 IP falls apart. They're completely dependent on that Shallow Grave to ensure that the Death Pulse is able to work in their favor. So they've got a double healing lineup with the Shadow Wave as well as the Death Pulse. Snow, he's caught up with the Poison Touch, but unfortunately it's only a level 1 Poison Touch. Warping up very aggressively to spoil out any further rotations. They should be able to take him Roshan. Wolfgun picks it up. Zeke, he does have a Blink Dagger. He's got Stampede available. Leap being used defensively, and they're forced to back off. Stampede being used defensively, only over the top lane. Now he's got Reincarnate. Bit of a misplay actually coming up from Only. Usually when you play a Wraith team, once you hit level 6, you don't level Reincarnate until you want to Reincarnate. Because you can level it when you're stunned. So assuming that you're able to hit Control R when you're being jumped on, if you've got the reflexes to be able to do that, you don't have to level up the Reincarnate until you absolutely need it. Because if they bait out the Reincarnate and kill you, then kill you again with the Reincarnate because your teammates aren't able to rotate in, and you don't have that Reincarnate, you've then lost the fight for the next 4 minutes. You need that Reincarnate in the early stages of the game. Otherwise, Wraith King as a hero falls apart without the Reincarnate. So this is something that a lot of pro players have to do. When you hit level 6, you hold on to your skill point. And when you're ganked, and when you know that your teammates are rotating in, you can use that Reincarnate, then you skill Reincarnate then, as you're being ganked. Otherwise, you leave it and hold on to that skill point for as long as possible, because you want to hit level 11 ASAP to reduce the cooldown of the Reincarnate. It's a 100-second difference. Zeke, he just put his Blink Dagger on Mule, he cleans him up. So good plays coming up from him, but unfortunately, if he was 5 seconds earlier and delayed Zeke's Blink Dagger that much longer, would have given him a huge advantage. And Mule nowhere near his Blink Dagger, so he's actually going to be very careful for both Zeke as well as Yoshi that can come in with the kill. Brother actually eats a fast pass in the face, those also coming in. The Ghoulie waiting in the wings, he's got that maxed out Shadow Wave, and the maxed out Shadow Wave with the maxed out Death Pulse is going to give him a huge amount of sustainability. He's also now picked up his mechanism. And so Flash, the mech advantage for Blink, actually been completely neutered. Both teams have mech at the same time, and in terms of overall sustained team fight, 5 IP, they have the superior drawn out fight. Because they have so much heal, because they've got 2 additional lives with the Shallow Grave as well as the Reincarnate, Blink, their Doubtful, if they decide to group up, unless they're able to pick off Broder with the Doom and pick off Ghoulie with the Sanking Bar Strike with the double edge, they're going to decisively lose these fights. Because once the healing comes online, once the second life from the Reincarnate and the Shallow Grave kicks in, especially with the Aegis, Shapeshift they're back out, they're going in on Only. So Yoshi, he's going on his own, brother, catching them out with the Bar Strike. That's stone cold. He actually doesn't have to stun. Zeke actually cancels it. Doom is being forced. Only takes the fall. Unfortunately, they wasted the Reincarnate. If he'd held on to that skill point, he would be more than happy to take that. That's like a group up now and go for fight. So Reincarnate to be wasted in exchange for that, they expended the Doom. But Blink don't have their own head, because Doom is a much shorter cooldown than the Reincarnate. If he hadn't skilled that Reincarnate, he could have died. Once he came back to life, skilled the Reincarnate, then said, okay, now we fight as 5. They no longer had Stampede, they no longer had the Doom, and they're able to take tail in the mid lane. And so when the enemy are fighting, not you door, they've got a superior team fight, what do? You split. If the enemy is stronger than you, you divide them. If they're equal to you, you frustrate them, so you have the initiative. If they're weaker than you, then you envelop them and you destroy them. You play some Sun Tzu level Dota, because this is how you win. You have to rely on the strategy of the game. Because when Blink Dota's lineup relies on fighting as 5, how do you counter that? You drag the game out. You try to hold on to your towers for as long as possible. You trade space for time by taking their towers as well. Once you get enough gold, once you have the gold lead, which they have right now, you take these fights 5v5 because now you have the advantage. So Blink, if they aren't able to take the tier 1 over, take a lot more tier 1 towers in the next 5 minutes, their lineup starts to fall apart because they're playing from behind. And Blink are a team, they don't play very well when they're playing from behind because all their players play so greedy. And Mule, with those 2 towers, even though one was denied, he's now got his Blink Dagger. And with that Blink Dagger, Puck can now start setting up ganks, as well as being able to counter-initiate. If they jump on the rest of his team, they don't catch out Puck. Puck blinks in, catches out 3-4 of your heroes with a Drink Coil, and you turn. Unless you're able to Doom Bro, but it looks like he's actually caught out with Yoshi. Fantastically Bar Strike, double edge from Zeke, he's able to catch him out. The Centaur Warrunner as well as the Sanking is a combo that Blink love to run, because it gives you that execution power. Once they both have Blink Daggers, Yoshi sets up, it's a 1-2 punch, he sets up the initial Bar Strike, then Zeke comes with a hoof stomp, and then finishes them off with a double edge. So that gives you that instant pick-off power, especially if Ghoulie or Broder aren't there. So Broder mech up on him, probably going to be, he might actually decide to opt for a Pipe of Insight very early on. Ghoulie actually eats that double Plasma Field, immediate pings coming up from him. Broder actually whips the hoof stomp lands, there's no Shadow Grave time, no mech being used by Broder, so misplays coming up from him. He wasn't ranked for that mech, was supposed to rotating him, they actually could have turned on that. But Wolfgun, he's got Aegis available, he's almost got the Necronomicon 1. And with that medallion courage, his DPS is absolutely massive. He's doing more damage than the carry here at the 30-minute mark. At the 15-minute mark, because of the -7 armor from the medallion, as well as the inbuilt crit coming out from his shapeshift, this is the reason why Lycanthrope is banned, because if you don't shut him down, he runs over you in the first 20 minutes. If you do shut him down and you lose a fight, even if it's a single fight, because he has such immense pushing power, he takes all your towers and he's able to take your throne. The only game where Lycanthrope has picked up the TI4 main event was LGD China against DK, and that's the biggest comeback victory in the history of competitive Dota 2. I believe it was a 25,000 gold lead in favor of DK. They lost 2 fights back to back, and Lycanthrope was able to go through that mid lane, take out their racks, and then go for throw. It's the power of the Lycanthrope, and it's why you see him banned out, because he's so annoying to deal with. Broodmother in the TI1 to TI2 era, before she was reworked, she used to be banned out, not because she was necessarily overpowered, because there were ways to counter her, it was because she was such an annoying to play against, because you constantly had to rotate players to be able to deal with a split push, because she just camped one lane, drop 5-6 webs, and every single time you leave, she'd start taking a tower, and then she'd eventually find enough farm that if one hero rotated on their own, she'd kill them with the Orc and Deliverance. So you had to rotate 2-3 heroes, and that meant that the rest of your team that isn't farming anything, they're not able to fight effectively. Because a team that drafts Broodmother, they're drafting a 4v5 lineup, because they know that the Broodmother is constantly going to be playing to run that split push, and if you ever do lose a fight against that team, but while I say that, Mule once again called out, Stampede being used, Zeke comes over the hooks over and Brody, he's able to keep himself alive, catches out 2 of the green bull, Shadow Grave over and Brody, 5 IP should actually be the ton of the snow, he's got a fantastic static link up on him, actually the chain force cleans up Ghoulie, gets a triple kill over on that end. And only he wishes he had that reincarnate. If he had that reincarnate, they would have had a lot more turnaround potential. Wolfguard over bringing down Aegis does pop, but he's left completely on his own. They might actually be able to clean him up as well. He comes back into the fight, and Snow, that's damage Snow, and able to bring him down. An ultra kill going on Snow, 17 minutes in. That's a tier 1 and perhaps even a tier 2. Now going in favor of Blink. 5 IP, they had the gold advantage. They went from 7,000 to 2,500, going to be about 1,500 gold lead now with that tower gold trickling in. But the experience, now finally gone in favor of Blink Dota. Their mid lane play was able to create space for everybody else. It's the same gameplay they always rely on. They rely on the Blink's coming in line from Zeke on that Centaur Warrunner, as well as Yoshi on that Sand King. And Snow, because he's able to usually do very well in that lane, the drums of endurance doing a lot of work, providing the stat speed in terms of your staying tall in these fights, as well as the movement speed and the attack speed. Since Wraith is already a very mobile hero, just with the unstable current, adding the drum charge on top of that makes it absolutely absurd. You can't break the link, and so he's able to stand his ground, drain off all the Lycanthrope's damage, and then try to kill him. And so only without that reincarnate available, like the Wraith King, he's basically a wasted pick. Without reincarnate in a 5-on-5 engagement, Wraith King, you can replace him with almost any other hero with a stun. They'd be able to do a much better job, unless he has an obscene amount of farm, they're forced to focus it. You need that reincarnate for the Wraith King to be relevant, so this all boils down to skilling his reincarnate the instant he got it level 6. You hold on to your skill point for that very reason. If he had that available, they could have tried to turn that fight, because they would have had 2 heroes responding, so that's the reincarnate coming from him, as well as the Aegis. They could have at least tried to pick off another hero before they died. So they would have made the trend a lot more dangerous. But Mule, going in for the counter initiation Dreamfall, he was able to stay alive through Yoshi's initiation, but because he's been called out by Yoshi blinking with the Burrow Shrine, and he's never able to initiate. And because Blink Dota, they've got the superior initiation power, so they've got the double blink, almost triple blink now, as Flash has almost got his blink dagger. So he's going to blink in, catch off Brody with the Doom, Yoshi's going to come in, catch out Mule, and then Zeke comes in and picks off somebody else, probably going to be going over Ghoulie, so they can prevent that shallow grave. And once they do that, 5 IP's lineup falls apart. They're dependent on them initiating, or them initiating on the wrong heroes. But with Yoshi's initiation coming out so far being unchecked, it's very difficult. Lycanthrope, in these 5-on-5 engagements, before he has the Necrophos available or the BKB, he doesn't actually provide enough damage to be worthwhile. Since while he can run down one of the heroes, if everybody else is dead, Lycanthrope can't do anything on his own. He's not like the carry Abaddon or the carry Faces War. He can stand 1v5 and potentially win if he has enough gold. He relies on the rest of his team being there as well, and you not being able to deal with it, because he's just able to run rings around you. And so Roshan respawning in a minute and a half. So 5 IP, they're going to be looking to take advantage of that to start to turn the game around, because there's a 3,000 gold lead now in favor of Blink Dota, and the experience lead, and the gold lead is now actually completely even. Only opting for drums of endurance first, as opposed to the blink dagger. So the rationale behind this is they're relying on the immediate pickup power coming up from Mule, but the drawback to this is you need the Wraith King to also be able to set these fights. Blink dagger is caught on the Wraith King because how easy Wraith Fire Blast is to destroy, and because it has such a slow projectile speed. Wraith King is very easy to kite. You have to jump in and start the fight initially by stunning them right at point blank range. Because otherwise Sankey's going to destroy it, or they're going to be able to create enough distance, especially with the Stampede, that you're not going to be able to get a hit in before the stun time wears off. So the drums of endurance pickup places too much pressure over Mule to initiate, but when he's been caught out, looks like Brody's actually caught out. The Who's from the double edge, as well as the Frostblast from Bambi. So typical Bambi contribution to the fight, shows up late, cleans up a kill, moving up towards his items. I guess in terms of net worth, he's still his lowest. Since since he hasn't been getting any creeps, since he's been picking up all the spawn items for his team. And so Blink Dunedin, now with all the kills going their way, their Tricore's coming online. Razor, Snow with that Ultra kill, he's now got the highest amount of net worth. Looks like he actually has a BKB completed flying out towards him. And you now can't do anything to deal with the Razor. So this is the RTZ build. Over on the Razor where you go treads, drums returns into BKB, and if you can get it in the first 20 minutes, you've pretty much won the game, because no one can man-fight the Razor once he's got that BKB available, especially with the static link. The only real form of physical DPS they have, since you can't really count the Wraith King at this point, especially against a Razor, is the Lycanthrope. And Snow, he simply just static links him and stands his ground. And so with that BKB up, Blink Dunedin, they have the next 10 minutes as a teamfight advantage. So until they're able to farm up the Necrophos in 3, or unless a mule is able to find him out of position and get the Blink drink pool off, the fight's going to be looking difficult. And he's now picked up his Blink dagger, and so they've got that double Blink initiation of their own. And so the advantage of this is if your teammates get jumped on, you can Blink into react. And so that works out very well, especially with the Blink drink pool coming online from mule. But the Puck pickup actually wasn't all too effective in the mid lane. Puck against the Razor, it's a bit of a difficult matchup, because Razor, with that static link, is able to win almost every single 1v1 matchup. The only 1v1 matchup that Razor loses is against Viper, and even then 50-50. If the Razor ever dies to the Viper, and Viper gets the EXP lead, the lane's over. And Viper actually can contest the Razor quite handily. If you go for the 2 points over in the poison norm and go for 2 points in the Necrophos, you've got enough base damage to out-CS him in lane. And if he goes for the link, you've got enough snares to either break the link, and once the link breaks, you stand your tongue. And you go for a kill over in the Razor. He's too squishy to really man-fight against the Viper without significant static link damage. So double damage for him being bottled up over a mule. Looks like Necronomicon 1 now available for Wolfcut, but the biggest drawback of the Necronomicon is until you get level 2, level 3, you really don't want to be using it in these fights. Because it's 100 gold for each of the minions, and the minions die very quickly. You don't want to feed any gold away, especially since Blink, that when they're constantly fighting as 5 like this, they're reliant on being able to take these towers and maintain a hand in terms of gold. So the only reason why 5IP now have the gold lead is because they have the tower lead. But once those towers fall, they're basically giant cashbacks. And Snow, he's already split pushing over the top lane, because he knows that with that BKB, they can't go for a kill on him. Unless the entire team rotates and they use everything they have, he should either be the TP out, or actually turn stands ground so long TP's coming. But they decided to trade to the tier 2 in exchange for the tier 1. Snow, he actually didn't have a TP on him, now he goes picks it up. But by the time he rotates, they're actually forced to the fortification. And so 5IPs are backing off. Only he's lagging behind, but he's got the reincarnate available this time. And so it doesn't really matter if he gets caught. They can actually translate that into a kill. Snow, he's going for a tower, but he's going to be very careful. Supports are now rotating in. But there's no stun available. It's a 2 CC-less heroes rotating in. Wolfcut, can't do anything against Razor with the BKB and Ghoulie, but they're able to deny that tower at least. And so they forced out fortification for both teams, but they are able to deny that tower. And that tier 2 tower, if they're ever fighting over the mid lane or the top lane, Wolfcut can just run up and smack it down. So Razor going to be going for a BKB, going for hanging himself. While they say that, only actually pulled out position. He ate the Doom as well for Stampede. Never mind, Doom wasn't used as a level death. It's got to reincarnate, and now they're coming in. This is the advantage of 5IP ladder. 3-man Drink Core coming out. Mule comes in, Sight catches out 2. Chain Frost is being used. He's disjointing it though with the phase shift. Yoshi now comes in the episode. Should be able to bring down Brother. Brother with that mech keeps himself alive. Zeke does execute with a double edge. Mule rotating now back into the fight, but they're immediately backing off. With the blinks available, they're not able to do anything. They are able to deny that tower, but Snow wasn't even in that fight, and neither was the Lycanthrope. And so this is the advantage of Blink's lineup, is because they were too slow to react. While they were able to react on time, the double Blink initiation, as well as the amount of team fight power you have from that, they didn't even expend the Doom. They're still able to turn these fights because now they have the EXP lead. And that's going to work absolute wonders for them, especially once Epicenter level 2 comes online, which is about to. Well, Stampede level 2 is almost up. And that Chain Frost, he's actually got a level 2 Chain Frost. And Bambi, with all his kills, he's actually doing fairly well for himself. Snow's got that 10-second BKB charge. It still hasn't used it. And BKB is a complete timing on it. The first fight you take with a 10-second BKB, you should win decisively. There are very few, unless if you're completely caught out of position and you pop the BKB at half-life, even then, on certain heroes like the Razor, you can still stand and turn the game around. And so, Blink, they have to take a very decisive fight with that 10-second BKB. Since the later the game goes, 5IP, that lineup actually works very well if it does go to the late game, because they've got 4 heroes farming. And their heroes scale very well. Dazzle, he scales into all stages of the game because the Weave and the Shallow Grave is always relevant. The Poison Touch, as well as the Shadow Wave, isn't as great, but the fact that Shadow Grave is always relevant, since it's a 5-second invulnerability, especially with the double heal coming out and the mech, Ghouli's always going to be a threat. You always have to prioritize him, especially now that he's always got that maxed out as Shallow Grave. He can stand back in these fights and catch out his teammates if they happen to get caught. And so they're grouping up now, and Yoshi, he's going to be starting to rotate in. He's got the Blink available as well. He doesn't have the Epicenter, but if he catches out 3 of the Blink Burrow Strikes, no one can come in and clean them up. with the Arcane Boots up on him, probably going for the Veil of Discord to amplify the rest of his team's damage. Necrophos level 2 now up in the Lycanthrope. Wolfguard almost got Necrophos level 3. And once that Necrophos level 3 comes online, then Lycanthrope wants to fight 5v5. Because now he has enough team fighting abilities, he has enough damage that he can run down the supports. But the BKB is coming up on Zeke. He loves going for the BKB over the Centaur Warrunner, because it means that A, you're not taking any of the double edge damage that you use in yourself, since it's HP removal, and when you've got that BKB active, you're not taking any of the return damage you receive. And because Centaur Warrunner is so tanky and so powerful with the Stampede, he's able to run through the supports and just cut them off. And so Blink Dota, they're relying on their Blink initiation to be able to try to win them these engagements, because if Mule is ever able to counter it or catch them out and initiate on them, teamfight swings drastically in favor of 5IP, because they win these long drawn out engagements. Blink Dota, they want to go for these short, sharp fights where they deal enough damage that they force the enemy team to break apart and retreat. But if the fight goes late, or if the fight drags out very long, the only hero that's relevant in these dragged out engagements is the Razor. Since Doombringer not really going to be too effective as a right clicker, especially since he's going for this utility Doom, so he's picking up all the items for his team, going for a BKB as well. So Blink Dota with this lineup, they love to wait until they have 3 BKBs, and then they group up as 5 and go for the killing blow. And so this is the definition of the Death Ball lineup. Once you wait until you have your core items, once you have those core items, you take their objectives, and then you starve them out of gold. Once you take these tattoos, they don't even have to break for high ground. They can wait until they farm another set of items, and then go for the killing blow, because the enemy team, they no longer can recover. They can't go anywhere outside their base without being picked off. And in terms of map coverage already, very aggressive board teaming coming out from Blink to be able to block off any avenue into their jungle for them through the farm. We've got defensive board coming up from 5IP. The top lane, the mid lane, not really too relevant. The bottom lane is the most important. Only TP in because he's got reincarnate, but Mule confident as well. Went up for the bar, so actually got caught up with the Doom. He immediately takes full red fire while spells on stone. Chain Frost being used, and Wolfguard's actually standing right in the thick of it. He's standing in ground, he should be able to bring down Zeke, especially with the weave up on him. Bring the side flags out. Actually, he might be able to bring one hero down. Emerson being used, Yoshi now standing his ground, only reincarnates, and Mule, he brought back, he catches out 2 with the ring ball. He kills on the back line, huge fast sack of catch in his hands. Flash, no one up on him, only's gonna snack him down. Bambi, doing what Bambi does best, keeping on out of the fight. But when he goes with a crit, no Wraith 5 blast available. When you come at the king, you best not miss, especially when reincarnates around. And so that was the fight where they didn't doom Broda, and the fight was completely lost. Even though that's a superior pickup, even though it did cost him a buyback, if you don't doom the Necrophos, you're going to lose that fight, because the sheer amount of damage potential he provides, as well as the sheer amount of sustainability, is absolutely absurd. And with that fight won, Wolfguard immediately rotates over into Roshan. With that Medallion of Courage up, and with the Wolves available, he should be able to bring down very easily. Other 2 heroes, only as well as a Mule, they have to leave some experience as well, but they should actually be split pushing another lane. Wolfguard can solo this, since they know that they're actually going to rotate in. Flash, buying back, even though he only had 10 seconds left. 5IP, they have to back off now. They don't have reincarnate, they don't have any of their ultimates up. They're going to be absolutely critical. If they don't back off, and if they're caught out, things go absolutely hard way. Zeke gets it fantastic. Blake hooks on the shade, catches out 3. Looks like Wolfguard, the only one left to left, only dies immediately. Mule hops the haste resist, latest sucker. He turns around, is actually throwing out a few more right clicks. That BB used, and 5IP actually turning this. Only the only casualty. Shapeshift is about to wear off. They actually catch out 1 Broiler, standing his ground until the Shadow Glaive Ghoulie comes in, turning in. They actually able to bring down Zeke. And Flashy breaks him, but with that weave on him, with arms dropping down, Ghoulie finally does take a fall. And Wolfguard, he's the only one to survive for his team. As actually Mule, he should be taking a fall. Yeah, Mule's actually called out there. So Wolfguard, he immediately rotates over to the mid lane, so that's split pushing. Very back and forth fight happening there. If they're available a little bit earlier, the 10-second cooldown left over on Doom before he was able to respawn, buying back, that actually won them that game. They should have backed off the instant the respawn came down, since they knew that the only reason why they respawn like what they buy back like that with that little time left is to contest Roshan. And Blink Dota now, they're now going to take Roshan, and Roshan up on Razor is going to be absolutely game breaking. They were just barely able to bring down Snow in that last fight. They don't have enough damage to bring him down twice this time. He's got a 9-second BKB still up on him. And so in terms of experience, with that Roshan kill, should be going to about 6,000. Gold leads starting to move in favor of Blink Dota as well. But in exchange for that, Wolfguard does some split push, actually gets caught out by Yoshi. Evan's never flying after him. Wolfguard just stands his ground, says, bitch, please, smacks him down. Shapeshifts, he's going to die to the tower right click. And Zeke, double edges just in case. Berating himself, Flash. Looks like Snow is able to pick up the Agency Mold. Actually, he actually popped BKB for that, so I'm not really too sure what the rationale for that was. Maybe he thought Mule would come and try to contest that. But even then, even if he did blink in, he should have probably been able to get it, especially with the ward up there, so they should have spotted Mule's rotation in. It's a bit of a questionable play coming out from Snow. But that being said, they were able to take that they were able to do a lot of damage to that tattoo in exchange for the Roshan. And the Roshan kill now swings the tide in favor of Blink Dota. Broda looks like he's going for the Agnum Scepter. Agnum Scepter, not really the greatest pickup on the Necrophos this early on. because it doesn't really give you enough benefit to be worthwhile. The Aghanim Scepter, the reason why you go for it in the late game is because it shuts out buyback. I suppose that's the rationale behind it, since otherwise you want to go for something like Shiva's card or even the harder to ask. Your sole objective as a Necrophos is to stay alive. If you stay alive, you win fights just by being able to spam out that pulse and be able to apply pressure with the Heart Soul Aura. If you die very early on, if you go for the Aghanim Scepter, you're investing too many resources into going for that kill. And that means you can only really do that is if you have the jump on them. But since Yoshi's and Ziki are constantly capturing a 5 at the early position and starting these fights on their terms, it's very difficult for the Aghanim Scepter to be able to provide much benefit. You need to instead go for multiple survivability, so if Warrunner does get caught out, he can stay alive long enough for Sport to rotate in. 5 IP, despite the kill lead going drastically in favor of Blink, the gold lead isn't as far behind as you'd think. In terms of net worth, Wolfgang still actually is keeping up on par of the other two cores. So Flash, nowhere near his BKB, you're going to be having about 700 more gold. Now Wolfgang, now that he's got an economic enough, probably going to be opting to go for a BKB himself, so he can stand tall with his engagements, or he could opt to go for something like a Assault Harass, where that extra split pushing power. Since 5 IP, they can afford to lose fights 4v5, if Wolfgang is split pushing and taking towers. They don't catch him out now, Staffy's been used as well, double edge as well, so Hoop's not going flying out. And Wolfgang, he's got a shapeshift, he's shapeshift up, and he's actually might be able to make it up. They've got the Blink Virus Strike available coming in. Ziki comes to go for a body block, but Wolfgang should be able to make it up for them now. Flash the level, that's bring down, and there we go. Yoshi with that Blink Virus Strike, and only immediately gets on out there. He doesn't want any part of that. Almost has his own BKB. That BKB is going to be critical for Wraithing because it lets him stand up against the epicenter, which is going to be the critical factor. Wolfgang's saying they know they at least call a team Blink. But with that triple Blink, as well as the BKB coming online on Flash, they've got the next fight in their hands. Unless a Mule is able to pull something crazy out of his hands and catch them out, they should actually look to not defend that tattoo and go for a trade. Only called out, reincarnate popping. Only once again. Unsuccessful reincarnate, that means they now can't fight for the next 2 minutes. And so that means that Blink, they've got the next team fight. They should be able to take that tattoo and actually might even be able to breach high ground. So this is the drawback of the Wraith thing, is if you get an unsuccessful reincarnate, it costs you your team too much. That's why you want to hold on to that skill point. That's why you want to play very cautiously when your reincarnate's on cooldown, and play very aggressively as 5 when your reincarnate's on cooldown. If you're not able to fight every time you've got reincarnate up, you're not able to capitalize on the advantage it gives you in the early stage game. For the first 20 minutes, every time reincarnate's up, you've won that fight. Because they don't have enough damage to deal with you twice. They might be able to kill you once, but with the rest of your team there, they should be there go. And Blink they know that they can breach high ground, so doing it. With that Aghanim Scepter up over on the Razor, Snow's slow sieging up, he got the Aegis on Morg still up on him. Will be wearing off very shortly, but with only not having the reincarnate, Blade actually might be to breach high ground right now. If they breach high ground, it's going to be very difficult for 5 IP to be able to defend this. Or to be able to try to turn the game. Flash comes and catches up Mule with the wing flies. Wolfgang's actually standing stunned up, now pops the Necronomicon, but he's going to die before he can have his Shadow Grave's being used on him. Ghouli's going to be backing off the Chain Frost and cleaning him up. Still doing a lot of damage, he's able to clean him up, and he gets 2. Blink Banny Summer getting 2 with that Chain Frost, ends the Immortal Pop. Those are the wear off anyway. And Blink doesn't able to breach high ground. Blink coming up from Ziki to destroy that Wraith Fire Blast. This is why you go Blink on the Wraith thing, so you can Blink in front of them to prevent them from doing that. Otherwise it's very easy to destroy. Only without that reincarnate, can't really do too much. Mule, he's trying to do what he can, throwing out the Illusory Orb. But on his own, he actually gets a great 3-man Dream Bomb. If the rest of his team was there to capitalize, they could try to turn this fight, but they can't. And because they can't, they're losing their first in the racks. And Blink Donut, that Death Ball has done its job. If you're able to breach high ground for the first 35 minutes, you've put your team in a good enough position that's very difficult for the enemy team to recover. They've got the tattoos up at least, and so that's the one thing that 5IP had going for them. If they could try to drag the game up by defending those tattoos, but when you're fighting the triple BKB as well as the triple Blink, it's very difficult for them to take these fights because Mule, he's only been able to initiate on the enemy team once. Every single time his team's the one being initiated on, his Dream Balls have been reactive to the enemy team. And when they've got that initial pick-off power to be able to start the fight 4v5, even if you catch out the entire enemy team with a Dream Ball, your team can't really turn around and capitalize off this. And this is the issue of their lineup. While they do have the superior drawn-out fight lineup, since they've got the Shallow Grave to weave as well as the constant death pulse from the Necrophos, because they've been called out and picked off before the fight gets long enough, Blink Dota are able to capitalize on this. Necrophos, he should actually be going for a BKB at this point. The Aghanim Scepter, when you're playing from behind, offers you absolutely nothing. Because the only reason where the Aghanim Scepter would be effective is if you're dead even. So that way you can disable the buyback. If you force the enemy team to buy back after you kill them, you're actually ahead and you back off and prevent yourself from overextending. So the Aghanim Scepter actually isn't really going to provide you much, since the biggest advantage of Blink's lineup is all 3 of their cores are very, very tanky. You've got the Doombringer, he's got about 2,000 HP up on him. You've got Snow's got 2.2, and the BKB looks like he's going for the Aghanim Scepter. Now he's going for the Assault Harass, off the Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to provide him a huge amount of sustainability in these engagements. They actually can't kill the Razor once he pops that BKB. They've got nothing to really deal with them. Their only forms of physical DPS this is the Wraith King that's going to be very easily kited. Since this Wraith Fire Blast purges him to ensure that Snow is able to create the distance, and with that BKB you can't actually man-fight him, especially with that Sonic Link. And Wolfcon, you could try to man-fight Razor with the Necronomicon minions, but with the Eye of the Storm as well as the Static Link, the Aghanims have the Eye of the Storm is -3 armor per second on a single target. That's absolutely absurd if you consider the fact that that's just a fire figure ability. You don't have to do anything special with the Eye of the Storm to achieve its benefit. With 1v1 with the Eye of the Storm, you're losing armor so quickly that with the Static Link, unless you're able to kill Razor very quickly, you're going to take your fall. Mule tricking himself out, illusory hopping out. They are able to TP out in time. Yoshi blinking, Boris striking into the trees, and maybe Pig's coming up from Mule, saying, "See ya, sucker." He's got he actually doesn't have a TP, and Mule actually could be taking fall right now if they know this. Flash is sitting there with the Scorched Earth. Illusory flies out. And Mule really wishes he had a TP scroll up on him. Flash is still there, disabling his regen with the Scorched Earth, so he can't use the blink out. Yoshi's are going for it, they do finally catch him out, and Mule, this is why you always carry TP, just like any student flight, you always want toilet paper, because if you don't have it, things get very messy. He catches up 3 in the Dream Coil, but Zinky just punches him in the face. And Khal Drogo is still going in for that. That's a tier 2 now going in favor of Blink Dota, because Mule, even if he does buy back, he actually doesn't have enough gold to buy back, even if he did buy back, because Dream Coil is off cooldown. They're on cooldown, so they can't really turn the spike. And so that they're going to trade tier 2 for tier 2, but Blink Dota can just keep going trying to breach high ground. They've already breached high ground through mid, and so they can actually keep going and actually do a fair amount of damage to the tier 3. The tier 3 is the only area that a 5-up can try to turn this. So Wolfcon, he's going to keep split pushing on his own because he can't really contribute to the spikes. But it looks like he's teaming back to defense. They're going to have to do everything they can. If they lose this fight, it's game over for them. Blink Dota is so far ahead right now, their Death Ball is being executed effectively. Right in corner position, Shadow Grave up on them, as well as the Doom, so they're able to Doom up early this time. So even if the Shadow Grave wears off, he's still going to be taking 4. Ghoulie, he's got a haste room, there's only so much he can do. Only comes in with the BKB, but the Eye of the Storm tearing through. He's got that reincarnated ability, doing as much damage as humanly possible. The Chain Frost flying back and through. Zeke catches out Wolf, goes able to bring down with the double edge. Yoshi doing as much damage as possible over against Oni. He is able to bring him down, so probably Snap even having used. Ghoulie being smacked by Snow. And Oni, he's going to be taking a fall. This is a drawback of the Wraith King. When you're not initiating on them and forcing the reincarnate, the Wraith King doesn't give you anything. Because they can the fact they ignore you, kill everybody else, then turn around. So GG1 played 38 minutes into the game. Blink Dota are able to take game number 1. Utilizing a very convincing death blow. Didn't see an Omni Knight, we didn't see a PA. Until the final IP, there's still plenty of tricks up their sleeve. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back for game number 2.